Can yoga be decoupled from its Vedic roots? The fastest growing movements in yoga in the West are secular yoga and what is called Christian yoga. Yoga is certainly universal, and its physical, mental, and spiritual benefits are available to every human being. But the universal principles on which yoga is based are Vedic principles. Everyone can enjoy mangoes, but that does not mean one should genetically modify the roots of a mango tree and distort the fruits. Consider the scientific analogy that gravitation theory applies to everyone, but a scientist must learn it correctly and apply it according to the theory. When yoga is separated from its Vedic roots and repackaged in some other framework, does that compromise its integrity? If you genetically modify the structure of a mango, is that still a mango? Yoga is definitely a Hindu practice, but I believe everyone should receive its benefits in a manner that respects its underlying metaphysics, its ethical requirements, and its standards of practice. Underlying the asanas or physical postures are well-established Vedic principles. The Vedic foundation cannot be compromised. I will explain how the global movement to Christianize yoga is distorting the integrity of yoga. Many churches claim yoga is merely culture and separate from any religion or dharma. They actively promote Christian yoga. Is this honest, and is it good for Hinduism? When Hindu gurus brought yoga to the West, many Westerners were becoming alienated from Christianity for a variety of reasons and were joining gurus and ashrams for yoga and meditation. This became a fad. The church initially rejected yoga as a pagan and heathen practice which violates Christianity. Church leaders felt that practicing yoga brings people closer to Hindu thought and alienates them from the Bible. Initially, the church saw yoga as an existential threat to its survival. Then the empire strikes back. A group of Christian pioneers working under Hindu gurus started experimenting with their own versions of yoga which could be made to look compatible with Christianity. At first, very few churches accepted this as a legitimate practice for Christians. But the pressure from millions of Christians grew, and yoga was modified in more innovative ways to decouple it from its Vedic roots. Over the past quarter century, an increasing number of churches have launched some form of Christian yoga. This has become the most popular product attracting people to these churches today. So what is Christian yoga? In Christian yoga, many Hindu principles are carefully removed completely, or they are replaced by Christian substitutes. An example of distortion is that Surya Namaskar, or sun salutation, has become sun salutation. Here, sun refers to Jesus, the Son of God. Sun as Surya Devta is replaced by Son of God, Jesus. In the Vedic framework for yoga, the goal is that the Atma, self, finally merges with the Paramatma, universal consciousness. But this violates Christian beliefs where the creature is inherently separate from the Creator, and to claim unity is an act of blasphemy. In Christian yoga, the practitioner must be blocked from any notion of being the same as Jesus. Yoga only helps the practitioner get closer to Jesus. He can never become Jesus because that would be blasphemy. This is a digested form of yoga. In Christianity, Jesus is the only legitimate deity. All others are false gods and the result of the devil playing mischief in the individual. The silence cherished by yogis is to be feared because the devil enters silent minds. Therefore, yoga practices leading to higher planes where silence is experienced are considered dangerous. Such states invite the devil to enter the mind. In Christian yoga, this danger is prevented by constantly chanting verses from the Bible and keeping the focus on Jesus Christ, thereby avoiding the silent mind. Hindu terms like Guru, Namaste, Om, and Pranayam are either avoided or else given a new Christian meaning. For example, Guru is reinterpreted to mean Jesus Christ. It is also being claimed that yoga is not Hindu at all. It was an ancient practice all over the world which Hindus appropriated and preserved. Now the Christians are simply following the ancient practice, nothing to do with Hinduism. Christians who were earlier learning yoga from Hindu gurus are now drawn to church-certified yoga teachers. The Hindu influence is being erased. Christian yoga is often marketed as a fun-filled, youthful activity. It is a vibrant movement in the West, which is also spreading to other parts of the world, including India. They have a well-organized system of training yoga teachers who set up their own Christian yoga private practices. Several tens of thousands of teachers have been trained. You can imagine the vast reach of this movement. Why is Christian yoga dangerous? Christian yoga is part of a well-established strategy to make inroads into Hinduism. The popularity and familiarity of yoga is used to infuse Christian beliefs among Hindus in a slow and subtle way and thereby Christianize them. Earlier, new converts were forced to give up their Hindu culture and adopt Western lifestyles and languages. This approach failed. Now they have started retaining Hindu cultural elements like wearing saris, bindis on the forehead, lighting lamps, sitting on the floor, doing namaskar, and so on. However, these practices are given Christian meanings and symbolism. Many popular Hindu bhajans are being Christianized by making minimal changes to their words. Bharatnatyam dance is rapidly being Christianized. In this way, Christianized bhajans, Bharatnatyam, and yoga are becoming decoupled from Hindu dharma, first secularized and then gradually digested into Christianity. Hindus are thus softened up for Christianity. Conversion can be a gradual and non-traumatic process without loss of cultural identity. The Church therefore recommends adopting yoga for conversion purposes. It can be a powerful tool to entice Hindus, many of who are a confused lot and know little about their own dharma. This strategy of selectively digesting has been adopted for over 2,000 years by evangelists. It was successfully used to convert European pagans into Christianity. Popular pagan symbols and festivals were turned into the Christmas tree, Easter, the Christmas festival, and given Christian meanings. This confused the pagans because their familiar symbols now had new meanings. Eventually, they accepted these new meanings and became Christians, and paganism disappeared. Christian yoga is a dual strategy. As a defense, it stops Westerners from abandoning Christianity. As offense, it converts Hindus. Things have reached a tipping point. Given the reach and power of the Church, yoga will become taught widely as a part of Christianity. Is yoga being changed forever? Are Hindus aware of the deep consequences? I call upon each of you to please educate our gurus and the Indian government to stop spreading confusion about yoga. You must be courageous to criticize all those who decouple yoga from its Vedic foundation.